everyone, I'm Sarah Katow, and this is the very first episode of my new podcast, Stay Podsitive, which, I don't know, it's something I've been really wanting to do for a while, but I kept talking myself out of it because I was thinking, okay, the world doesn't need another podcast, but then I was like, fuck it, and I made it anyway. The show is called Stay Podsitive because A, it's a podcast, so pod has to be somewhere in the title, duh, them's the rules, and B, I'm a comedian, so I like to make people laugh, cheer people up, and that's why every week I get to talk to a new guest about life and happiness and everything in between and sort of what they do to keep things upbeat. This is a brand new podcast, so I just want to make sure everybody has that in mind, the fact that, you know, I'm still learning how to interview, speak clearer, ask better questions, all the things that a lot of people make look really easy, but I don't know, it's pretty hard for me, so bear with me. I'm super excited about the very first episode. I got to interview, you're gonna love her, one of my close friends who is also a comedian. She was a radio host for a while. She's an actor, and she was just recently cast as a series regular, Alice Kwan, in the new freeform show Good Trouble, which is a spinoff of The Fosters, if you ever saw it. I actually never saw The Fosters, but I watched the premiere of Good Trouble, which just premiered, and it was so good, and I mean, I felt like I got it. You know, I got the characters, even though I didn't watch the previous show or whatever. She's great in it, and you're gonna love her. So without further ado, here's Sherry Cola. Okay, now we're gonna start.
I just feel like every single time I talk, there's like an ounce of saliva waiting to be released.
Wait, some comedian I heard, I can't remember what his name is, so sad, but he had a bit about like cobra spit, you know, like when you yawn and then like a little bit comes out and shoots out your mouth, salivary glands.
Wait, from your throat? Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it's from your mouth. I think it's from your salivary glands, which is like underneath your mouth.
Okay. I actually surprisingly don't know that feeling.
No,
but
oh wow. Okay, you're missing out.
do you?
It's like every time you yawn, and it's a projectile.
No.
It's really goes real far, and it's like cobra spit.
Wow.
Venom shot. Yeah.
No, I have yet to experience that.
But I also spit a lot.
Okay.
When I'm talking, or if you're on stage and the lights are really
for sure
getting everything.
The spew, the little spritz, if you will. It's so funny. The other day, like not the other day. Ew, that's such a comic.
Yeah, the other day was.
The other day it was definitely in '97, but because when I first started doing stand up, I kind of was really awkward and stiff, and like I would hold the microphone just like at a certain distance. But now you know how we get more comfortable, so I've been putting it on my mouth. Toy. Like it's been like resting.
I get so sick.
There's a fucking one time there was a peanut or something like a chewed peanut. Like
I'm throwing up in my mouth.
Like I swear something came off of the microphone onto my lip.
Oh.
And I think it was the chewed peanut. That's all I have to say.
I mean, it's definitely possible because if other people are putting it on their mouth, they're chewing peanuts for sure.
Anyway.
But yeah, thank you for doing this. I appreciate you coming in the morning.
You're paying me, right?
Coming on the morning. Shit.
I have Venmo. That's the easiest.
All right. It'll happen. It'll happen one day. But yes, so thanks for coming here. Even though I will Venmo you eventually.
No, I'm kidding. I'll Venmo you. I'm just so happy to be here.
No, thanks. I mean, it's morning. We're talking about being or not being morning people.
We're talking about. I'm not, but we're also talking about ASMR, which was like one
the
of my
seafood
favorite
one.
things. Yeah, it's like my guilty pleasure.
Do you wanna play that for the kids at home? I honestly didn't even know that. I mean, it makes sense that eating ones would be the case, but I only ever have seen like the young girls where it's like a little weirdly, like I'm interpreting it as sexual, so that's probably on me. But like they're always like, dressed up real nice, and they got the like fingernails, and they're poking things.
Oh,
and stuff.
The slime.
Slime, yep.
Well, they're dressed up real nice.
Yeah, well, they're dressed up real nice, for the video, but it's an ASMR video.
No, yeah, so there are the ones with the kids, and I skip through those because I do feel like it's a sexual thing.
It feels a little invasive. I remember one friend said he wouldn't know what to, like, he wouldn't know if he'd rather have his kid go into porn or that, like kind of on the same level.
What's the difference?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't know.
At some point, you're selling sounds.
At
At the end of the day,
sounds and experiences.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah, because there's some where there's a parent and their kid, and they're basically using this kid to get ASMR.
Oh
money.
no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like
because kids are big in the ASMR field. Is that
sure.
The key? Yeah, they're like the demographic, I guess.
Yeah, we're not doing Huggies commercials anymore. Like they're
skipping straight to the ASMR.
Parents are thinking outside the box.
Do you use that to go to sleep at all? I know that's
no.
a thing. Okay.
I don't use it in the sound machine sense. I just literally use it because I'm so hungry. Like,
yeah, and you want to eat seafood,
famished.
and you're trying to stay away from it, and that satisfies.
Yeah, there's chicks who rap like ramen noodles in kimchi with a layer of like nacho cheese and put it on top of a chicken wing, and that literally gets me off.
And they're eating it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Good? So there's two kinds. There's ASMR, the stuff that's like specifically for sounds, and people literally have a microphone.
Right, that one.
And there's Mukbang. That's what it's called. That it's like a Korean word. I don't know, but basically it's. I swear they're like the tiniest Asian girls who eat 50 hamburgers. You know what I mean? And it's not really
about like the being small and eating a lot.
Sure,
kind of
it's
situation?
the challenge. Okay. Oh my god, I'm like, I'm
you're
telling you that
full.
saliva. Do you hear that?
Starting to pull.
Oh my jeez, I'm
stage
triggered.
When you're talking, or if you're talking in any capacity where you're performing, does that build up and you have to strategically swallow?
100. Swallowing is always strategic.
Okay, good.
You know.
Yeah, fair.
No, actually, sometimes I get ahead of myself, and that happens multiple times on stage. I swear I've done this. Like, I'm not even kidding. I literally like ribbit. Oh, they call me Rosie the Ribbitor. That's so stupid. Like, what is that? No, but yeah,
Rosie.
I've literally. I'm like, oh.
Well, at least you don't start choking, because I've choked on my own spit so many, not on stage, but just in general, like so many times. It'll be the death of me.
I mean, sometimes I choke, like jokes-wise, and I'm like, maybe I should start choking for real, just to kind of get out of the situation. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe I should fake my death.
By your own force.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
fair enough. choose to involuntarily choke. Yeah. All good things.
Yeah.
But, okay, wait. So you're talking about seeing Noah Cyrus at Sushi. But specifically, I would ask you about your radio days, which are behind you, technically, or are you still...
I mean, not technically. I still do hosty things, or, like, I go out for hosty things, and that's always something
which is, like, radio, like...
Yeah. But I did do... I dabbled in AMP Radio 97.1.
Yeah, I listen. It's on my top 5 in my car.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. So,
Pop.
it's hip.
Lots of celebs.
Sure.
Is that the one
Music.
Mario Lopez is on? Or is he not? Okay,
I did see him the other day, though. I have so much to talk about.
Oh, my God.
Well, I went to the Nutcracker premiere.
Oh, shoot. How was it?
It was really great, actually.
Get you in that Xmas spirit?
I was into it. It actually...
is it
something about a Disney movie? Yeah,
is it supposed to be like the live action sort of like
interpretation of the ballet?
Right. Okay, great.
And Morgan Freeman was literally like 5 inches away from me, and I actually was an extra for once. So baby steps, growth.
Yeah.
But
good job. I'm very proud.
Yeah, but Mario Lopez was there, and he actually had a cast. I don't know what the story was.
Oh, no.
There, I didn't ask because we didn't get to talk. But next time.
Yeah.
Anyway, Noah Cyrus saw her at Sushi, but
nice.
She didn't recognize me. Then she did. Anyway, because she thought I was just like some Asian lady.
Right. Hey, I recognize you from
Musics. Musics. Stay very good. That's exactly what I said. Stay very good.
Very good. Don't get better. Don't get worse.
Stay very good.
Yeah.
Just plateau at decent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, that's
plateau at passable.
Days. Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny. Instead of like take it easy or like take care, have a good one. Just stay very good.
Wow, yeah. What advice?
Let's just start saying that. Just rename this podcast Stay Very Good.
Stay Very Good. Yeah.
No, it's a spinoff. I will be in touch. Anyway.
Okay, good. Nice.
So, I did do radio. So, in college, I actually did campus radio for like 3.5 years. And I thought, okay, that is maybe the way that I'll broadcast my personality, whatever, right? So, after college, I got the job at AMP Radio, and I did a little bit of everything from like social media to board opping to like just everything.
Cool.
And street team. That's like the foundation. Like that's through my research and the path of people who are in radio. Like you literally kind of have to do the street team to get your foot in the door. You know what I mean? Like
sure. Is it kind of like what does street team mean? I don't know if I know.
Setting up tents at like Metro PCS.
Okay, yeah.
You know, but also like working the shows they have, the
like
concerts.
Kind of the PA of radio. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Like but yeah. So eventually, I ended up doing some work with Carson Daly on the morning show, and it was like this sporadic comedic segment.
He's on that's
right. Well, back then he's not on there anymore. But so then that kind of led to me having my own show on Sundays. You know, with a co-host, my good friend.
Oh, cool. Right. What was that one called again?
The Bay Show.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. So the whole thing was pushing new music.
That's awesome.
And, Bay stands for before anyone else.
Nice.
So one thing I'm actually really proud of, the Bay Show was the very first ever to play Khalid on the radio.
Oh,
fun fact.
Damn.
So I've interviewed him a few times. Like he's actually someone who would recognize me off the bat, without a doubt. I just unplugged you. I just unplugged her life support.
Yeah. I'm
Oops.
Slowly
Sabotage.
life. But that's crazy. So yeah, because I feel like when all the musical artists get big, they always know which radio stations vouch for them, and they'll go back to them to release their newer music when they're actually big. So it actually helps.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm not there anymore, but hopefully, I mean, I've been in talks about I don't know. It's definitely something that's really a passion still. Something about eventually being on a morning show and having people want to tune into that. It's a big deal to me still. You know what I mean? So eventually, hopefully, to be honest, I thought I could do it all. I really did. But at the end of the day, scheduling really actually doesn't work out. It's radio's okay, well, 5 days a week. And
That's
you know what I mean?
Going into the office.
I don't know if I would be able to commit right now. But for sure, I want to go back to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's there.
Right.
Which is cool. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
I actually don't, because people do say how radio is dying, etc., because of the, satellite and Spotify's and stuff.
Yeah.
But
no, I think it's still...
Yeah, artists still want to be on that wavelength. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
and
still a big
lot
deal.
Of people still listen to the radio. I mean, I do, at least, because I'm always driving. And, that's the only thing. I guess you can plug in your phone and stuff, but I literally, don't have any space in my phone.
Yeah, I listen to...
So the radio is unlimited space.
Exactly. Well, the only thing I listen to when I'm driving is this podcast.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That's all I listen to exclusively. Yeah.
On repeat, I hope. Good.
Your voice is like ASMR to me.
Okay, perfect. I should get into that.
I fall asleep behind the wheel.
Out. Oh, good. Yeah. Crazy.
That's happened to me. I have so many stories. I literally have fallen asleep behind the wheel and hit a car.
You hit a car. Oh, literally? Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people who have, because long journeys. Was it a long?
It was
road
6
trip?
a.m. I was on the way to Riverside, and the fucking heater was blasting, and
Oh God. Yeah.
You would
hold.
It's literally, I remember being sleepy, then I remember waking up. And it's I sideswiped this 18-wheeler. Thank goodness I didn't rear end a family in a Mini Cooper. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I literally.
Everybody, you were okay too?
People were fine. The cars were a little messed up, but first of all, how long was I even driving for? We don't even know. What if I was cruising for a mile? We don't know.
You have no idea.
We don't fucking know.
Sleep? What is sleep?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Because sometimes a 20-minute nap feels like 3 hours, So oh, what the fuck?
I mean, a friend was telling me that he was doing cross-country road trips, so trying to stay up the whole time.
Right.
And just make good time. And then he woke up on the side of the road.
Oh my God, no.
His car didn't hit anybody else, thank God, right? But he literally the car was on the side of the road, scraped and just on a as if you hit one of those side things, and then you're just waking up, and then he's just kept driving.
I hate that we're laughing about this, but it is funny because it's
well, it's
wait,
if
what?
Nobody gets hurt, you're okay, now this is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because you basically cheated death.
Right.
And
exactly.
Might as well have fun with that.
No, this was a test and I passed.
Yeah. Congrats.
Yeah.
But that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Now I do
but
drink
you're
coffee.
From
yeah.
Temple City.
Temple City.
Which is so.
ASMR 626.
And then, because I'm from La Cañada.
Yes.
And we would play you in sports.
Yes.
And I think my sister would play, I guess, so I played basketball, but I don't know if we played Temple City sometimes, but whatever. And then I quit at a certain point because my future wasn't going to happen in basketball. But my sister played a lot of tennis against Temple City, and it was a big rivalry, or maybe it was San Marino too. But,
yeah.
Everybody, they were great at that.
All the cities. Great. Wait, what was your mascot?
Spartans. What was yours?
Oh.
What? We were red and gold.
You know what's funny? I almost want to check my text because my math teacher, and also I was in this film club situation.
Oh, nice.
He recently hit me up to make a video as Lil Tasty saying for their homecoming game saying beat the Spartans.
Oh.
And I wonder if it was La Cañada.
Oh,
Is that
I'm
the
sure.
only Spartans in the area?
Probably not, but I think maybe in our league, maybe.
I'll have to double check in a little bit. That's so
if
funny.
Two had the same. Yeah, but what were you guys?
Rams.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Thank
but
God.
you know what's funny? I might have actually seen you because I actually was on Pep.
Oh, wow.
Senior year, I was on Pep flags.
Nice.
Not color guard, not
flaggies.
drill team. The
we
little.
had flaggies.
Yeah. Oh, you guys did.
Flaggies,
you were
songies.
Oh no, that's a little. I don't know how I feel about that.
It was like we had like it was like JV cheer,
right?
Soft frosh cheer, varsity cheer, and then flaggies and songies. But then you didn't want to be on varsity cheer. You wanted to be on flaggies and songies. I didn't do it, but
we didn't have those cutesy nicknames.
I knew the politics.
But I was only on a senior year, so it was technically an extension of pep and cheer and stuff. So we were at the football games and stuff. But who am I? Number one.
You were clearly a cheerleader.
I was into it. I was fucking into it. Anyway, it's so funny. Like in high school, I was just so like.
Yeah, what were you like?
Which is kind of a good quality to have. But I remember trying out for tennis with no experience, trying out for soccer with no experience. Trying out for basketball with no experience. I was just like, why not? I mean, maybe I'll make it. Yeah. I'm not even kidding.
And did they have anything where, because I feel like sometimes with teams, they'll just be like, everybody gets to make this team. And it goes, no, okay.
I just didn't make anything. But I went for it.
They didn't have like a secondary team or anything. Okay.
There was no like, intramural.
But yeah, that is great because it is like, it shows a lot about like, well, okay, fuck you. I'm moving on to soccer now. You know?
And same with, I ran for like, I think president of like 1 year.
Nice.
I should have ran for vice. Honestly, I think I would have won if I ran for vice, but I shot two. I'm like, you know what? No, I want to be at the top.
Yeah. You're shooting for that or else bust.
Right. But I mean, yeah, it's even for Pep. I didn't make it the first time around, but then I made it the second time. So I'm just like,
I'm always impressed with people who are able to get back up and do it. Like I think it's one thing. Okay, if you make whatever, but it's like if people are able to take the failure,
right,
and just be like, all right, whatever.
Well, I think that is applicable. Mm-hmm. How do you pronounce? I wasn't born here. I feel like in my current life, I don't really have that fear of rejection thing. Like when you think about it, like yes, obviously we get rejected so fucking much, and it's like there's 100 no's to that one yes. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I don't really. I mean, which is interesting, like I don't.
Great. Let's like what. What's an example of that you noticed recently? Because I think I'm constantly struggling with that, and I think it's better with every time. But a lot of times it's hard.
Yeah, with like auditions and stuff like that, like. At the end of the day, it really isn't personal, I think. It could be any reason. It could literally be any reason. Your hair is too long. Or, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's outside of your control. As long as you do your best, like, if they didn't want you, then they really didn't want you. Like, and usually when I see who they actually did go with, it's, like, someone that's nothing like me. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
I think rejection in that sense, like, I'm still very much, like, even submitting for writing things or, like, everything, really, It's, like, I'm not afraid to, like, blindly DM, like, 80 people about, like, hey, here's my tape. Like, I'd love to perform on your show, stand-up show. Even if it's, like, a comedian who's, like, well, obviously, I'm not gonna, DM Kevin Hart. But, like... Not that I haven't, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, there's like people who are even further, along in the stand-up game than I am. Like, I'm not afraid to just reach out and be like, hey, big fan of your show. Like, I'd love to, it's like, even though it's possible that they'll be like, this bitch, who is she? It's possible, but it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like,
we don't hear that, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean,
but that's good.
There's no like time for me because I'm so fucking hungry, and like, there's really no time for me to hesitate and not go for what I want. Cool. Or at least try.
Yeah, I mean? That's awesome. I like that a lot. Like, I feel like it's different in the same from other fields in certain ways, but especially, like, how do you feel about the fact that a lot of the no's that we get, like, it's not really a no, it's more just like a ghost, it's like we get ghosted on like certain things, but then it's like, do you like that more because it kind of feels like you could forget about it easier, or would you prefer like the upfront no, or like, that sort of thing?
I think I prefer an upfront no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just to, get an answer. Yeah, exactly. Because then I'm annoying. If like they don't reply, I'll literally like, hey, just following, you know what I mean? Just circling back, those words, touching base.
Yeah. Following
like,
up.
Email banter. Yeah. So
literally the Gmail suggested responses now, that's like who I am. I'm like, so funny. Wow, could I be that person who says keep in touch? Like, that's crazy. But
that's funny.
What a realm of possibility.
Yeah, but it's just to get an answer. But either way, I mean, excuse me, it's the same in terms of like, you put it out there, whatever happens, happens. It's, the yeses that really, oh shit, nice. Because sometimes I'll hit people up and they don't actually hit me back until like, maybe 6 months later. And I'm, oh shit. So it's not like I'm like waiting for their response.
Right. You're doing other stuff in the meantime.
Yeah, I put stuff out there because it's like, yeah, I have been busy and stuff. I've been like shooting the show and stuff, but it's like stand-up is so important to me that I want to, get up as much as I can. So,
cool.
I'm always like trying to
at the same
perform
time.
on a show.
It is so important to do multiple things too, because in that way, if like one thing's working out and one thing's not, like that feels not as bad as if like your only thing isn't working out. But
100%.
But about the show, so what was it like finding out that you got good trouble?
That was honestly unbelievable because, my whole mantra is I'm happy to be here. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful, just like constantly, because it's like, who am I? I really look back and like my mom and I will reflect sometimes like, when did I even like, what? Like, how was I back then? Like, I've always been really passionate about being funny and like, I made some like funny videos in high school. I like hosted talent shows. Like I was a fan of like, but I just never really thought I could do this. You know what I mean? As like a career like this, it's very interesting.
Is it because you didn't know much about this career, so it's sort of like, is it even a career, or is it more that like you really thought? Because I feel like hosting things at that young time, which could also just be like a fun hobby. Oh, it's just a hobby or whatever. But like that's pretty good. That like already at that point, it's like, oh, you're going up in front of people, knowing how to get a laugh, knowing how to like entertain. Like that's like a lot without a script too. Without like being like I was in a play. It's like, if you're hosting shit, that's like a whole different. And then for children, I'm always so impressed because I was such a shy, quiet kid that I'm always impressed when like kids have personalities. I'm like, where did you learn that?
It's funny that we're even referencing like me at 15 being a kid, because
it's so
weird,
whatever.
We see kids now, we're like, oh my god, they're so tiny. But I'm like, wait. When I was 15, I wasn't that tiny, was I?
Right. It's
oh,
like,
but shit,
I had a conscious brain, I think. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember hosting talent shows and like essentially put together stand-up, like this opening monologue.
You had to
know what I mean?
Jokes.
So I mean, if we're gonna, if the next time someone asks me, technically I've been doing stand-up since I was 15. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, it's like I just never, or even like I was in this like film club thing where we would make funny videos and like, but we would also work backstage as like technicians for like the musicals and stuff, and like looking back now, why was I not in the musicals? Like, why is that? Isn't that something that I actually went out for? Like, I never even like thought of it. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's interesting too. I wonder, like, because theater, like,
it was another world,
a little different, but then also like I also am the same thing. Like, I think I always like love to watch that stuff, but like never less like, oh, I couldn't do that. I would. Totally.
I mean, I guess everything happens for a reason. So I'm happy to I'm happy to do what I'm doing when I'm doing it. But anyway, so yeah, it's cool. Just like this out of body experience because I'm like, wow, like it's my first series regular, and that's like seriously,
that's huge,
monumental in like career wise, like human being wise, and like the story that I'm telling is really important to me. It's the POV of this Asian lesbian who is not out to her parents and like, struggles within that, finding herself and being not sure of her identity or even being comfortable with it because she thinks, there's shame behind it, etc. And like it, affects her relationships, and she's also going through heartbreak, and she also happens to be so what the public knows, I mean, depending on when this goes out, but is her name's Alice. And she manages the apartment complex that Callie and Mariana from The Fosters, so this is a spinoff of The Fosters, they move into. So they move from San Diego to LA. So right when The Fosters ends, they're wearing the same outfits. They go into a U-Haul, and the Good Trouble like starts with them in the U-Haul. So it's a straight up spinoff.
Cool.
So they move to LA, and I'm in that world, and I'm very like scatterbrained kind of, and like, just
I saw the clip with the toilet paper.
Right.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, okay.
Is that the first time that they meet you? The audience meets you? Okay, cool.
So right when they get there and they're waiting for me to, show them the place, and I'm just like frantic and like, oh my god, and like she is extremely apologetic and very people pleasy, and kind of puts others before herself, which is also very, relatable to me. But it's funny because when I first got this, audition even, I was like, oh, this chick is me. This chick is totally me. Perfect. How funny, because another thing, because we're getting so deep right now, because if we need to slap a label on it, I am bisexual. So this role, booking it, I actually came out to my mom. Like,
shit.
Yeah, so
oh my God.
It was kind of a really big deal, because not that there was pressure from anyone besides myself, because I was like looking at this, I'm like, this is a fucking POV that matters, that needs to be on the screen. Like, growing up, I watched so many shows, but none of them included an Asian girl who's questioning her sexuality, or
let alone
hiding the fact that she's a lesbian, from her mom, and like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
It's wow, it's like really powerful when I really think about it. Like, I'm so grateful to be doing that. That's what I'm really excited about.
That's so
for people to see that lens, at the same time, it's like weird. It's like we want to highlight this. We want to highlight this unique perspective. At the same time, we want to like normalize it. You know what I mean? Like, we're just real people.
Right.
We're just real people going through this. Like, why does it have to be this thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it's weird, and like this year especially, we've been like really like, there's been a lot of progress. Anyway, I just, I hopefully want to be a part of that impact, kind of like showing that Asian American, POV and stories that matter. But anyway, so when I first got the audition, I was like, wow, this chick is basically me, like how can I don't know. I can go on for days about this. Also very flustered right now. But the point is, like, how can I tell this story, like, without living my truth? You know what I mean? Like, hence telling my mom,
Cool. Yeah,
like,
I see. That's amazing.
There was really no pressure except, like, in the mirror. I'm like, okay, I'm 28. Like, it's about time.
Cool.
And it's like, I just want to open her up to that world. Because I did tell her, I mean, it was weird. It was like I started off saying that I was into women, and then, like, her reaction obviously was surprised, which surprised me, to be honest. But then it turned into, like, well, I'm also attracted to men, like, essentially. Like, if, I'm not trying to, like, I'm just letting her know that a woman is on the table. No, literally, there's a naked woman on my table, and I got to get home.
Her. Yeah.
Right. So let's wrap this up.
Right.
So stupid. But anyway, so my mom is now, like, I want to say she's more open to it. We've talked about it maybe like twice since, but I'm very like blunt when, if she says something that's a little like, okay, mom, like, I'll like definitely check her in the sense like, okay, so mom, like for example, God, there's just, okay, let's say I'm talking about someone else, like a lesbian friend of mine. I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah is dating blah, blah, blah. Those are their actual names.
Wow, yeah.
Very liberal parents.
Sure.
No, like, and she'll be like, oh, well, who knows? I mean, maybe she might end up marrying a guy. I'm like, mom, literally, that's like if I went out and told people that you might end up with a woman. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just, like...
erase it. Like,
exactly. So she's like, okay.
Tell her.
Right.
Because I think that's hard, too, because a lot of people don't... I mean, the parent situation is like authority versus a child, so it's hard to like correct your parent, you know, even though when they're straight up wrong. And like, I mean, and like my parents are super liberal and like, they know what's up, but occasionally there'll be times where I'm like, oh well, see, but we have to do this because that's like, even though you didn't think that, it's just things that are just ingrained too, but it's that's different. Good that you generations can, because that's even hard for me to do. And I think I'm working on it, but like, it's not nearly, I know that if you're actually trying to get through to a parent, like it's tough. It's tougher than just like any other person who's older.
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
but that's great that like, and then that role specifically pushed you to that is like, what a story, you know what I mean? Like that's great. What a blessing too.
Yeah. I'm just, totally a blessing. And it's just, my mom and I are really close, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm happy that that part of me is finally like released, if you will.
Sure. Did it feel like a relief?
Yeah. Cause even honestly, like even creatively, like stand-up, for example, it held me back because I'm like, okay, well, if I make this joke about liking women, what if it gets on the internet? What if one of my mom's friends' daughters see? Like, I'm not kidding. Like, that was actually a thought.
Okay,
so
so
it held me back in what I wanted to express.
Oh, okay, yeah,
you know?
Yeah. That's
so
true,
like,
everything's so personal on stage.
Yeah,
it's,
and like,
bound to
there are these experiences that, stories I want to tell that like, well, if I tell, so now I definitely feel way more liberated. So
yay!
I know.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's nuts, but I'm excited for people to see the show.
Oh
Seriously.
my gosh, yeah. I mean, the like, it is so crazy how important representation is, and I know it's like, ugh, everybody talks about it now, and like the word feels gross because everybody says it, but like, it is so like looking back, even though. What it is it's because, like, people who don't have it, then it becomes so precious. And then people who do are like, I don't even understand what this is, right? It's like, you get used to it very easily if you have it. But the fact that, like, you're, a series regular role, which is, like, a big career thing, but it's also, like, for this character that actually is you, which is what people say, like, with acting. It's like, if you can be the character too, like, then that's great.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even though acting can be about, like, morphing into a character or whatever, but, like, I feel like that's ideal. And then also as, like, a comedian, I mean, were there certain things, too, that, like, when you were on set and then you like, brought to the table because they were like, oh, well, Sherry said this, and, like, maybe that's something that should be a part of Alice, or?
Oh, totally. I mean, they're definitely very open to me, being myself and being kind of, like, ad-libby, if you will.
Sweet.
Because they're very open to improv and stuff. Obviously get the point across, and most of the time, we stick to the script and stuff, but, like, I'll do, like, a new choice, if you will, for no reason,
Yeah.
And sometimes they keep it, sometimes they don't, but they do give me freedom to, like, play, which is really cool.
How was the, like, writing for the character? Like, did you feel like it was true to it, or, like, true to the experience, or did you have anything where you were like, oh, maybe can we ask? I mean, I know it's also hard because it's so hard to be in, like, a new show, and you don't want to pretend, you don't want to be that person, but yeah, was there anything that came up, I guess?
No, it was pretty true. I mean, the thing is, like, the showrunner especially was very open to, like, hearing what we thought. Like, she wanted to know, if there was anything that, we thought didn't, you know what I mean?
Which is rare.
Most of the time, the thing is, I was really happy with all of it. It just, like, obviously sometimes, I'll riff a little bit, but that's really it. But they let me play. And the cool thing about the show, though, is because it's actually a drama, So it's like, sometimes I am the comedic relief, but I'm also having these fucking scenes, Sierra, that, like, I never thought I would ever have.
Wait,
like, I'm, like, crying. And, like,
how's crying on call?
So
on command.
So originally,
because I saw you post an Instagram story and you're like, I gotta cry in this next scene, and it's like you're joking around on your
Who
phone.
am I?
So I'm like, Jesus, how do you get in the mindset?
I?
Like, Sherry, how do you snap from, like, fun personality to crying in front of many people?
Right. It's actually kind of nuts. Like, this last time. So maybe I've cried like 3 times in the whole season, right? And, like, they're, like, real cries. And this last time, I actually didn't use anything. But I just did it. Maybe I was going through some shit in my own life. Because that's the thing, too. Yeah. Once you pull from what you're actually going through, like, it just fucking starts flowing. They're like, okay, you good?
Yeah, they're like,
we cut like an hour ago.
Everyone went home.
Right. But before, like, for example, the audition, I had to, like, cry, and it was weird. It was like a funny scene and an emotional scene. So I'm so happy that I'm stretching that skill, like the fact that I can show the world that I have layers. Like, who knew?
Sure.
Like, people will be I feel like people will be really surprised.
But see, that's crazy that you can just do that, though. I feel like that's so hard.
I did listen to, like, Sarah Bareilles' Gravity. Do you know that song? And, like, Sam Smith.
I don't know, wait, how does it go?
Leave Your Lover. Those are, like,
they're
2.
sad. Okay.
Yeah, those.
I mean, I believe it. But
yeah, they're sad.
And that helped you cry.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But how do you listen? So you listen to it before, and then you go
real quick. Yeah. Before they.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But then you got to do the funny stuff. So doesn't that bring you out of it?
Well, no. They usually save the sad stuff for last. That's the thing they do. Like, they usually save.
That's still, like, then doing the other scenes first, like, then you got to do the sad stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
So then aren't you like, I'm in funny mode, and then I was in sad mode first, but then now I'm in funny mode, and then now
I guess I'm just learning a hop back and forth.
That skill.
I don't know. It's a new skill.
Too much talent. So so what was it like then crying in when a lot of cameras are going and then people are dependent on you?
Oh, sometimes there's, like, like I remember one time I eventually got there, but one time because they do have this thing like this.
Oh right,
like
yeah.
menthol breeze or something that like makes you
water.
I mean, maybe one day I'll use it, but right now I refuse to. I want it to be like natural. Yeah. And once again, I've only cried like 3 times so far, but like
that's a lot though.
There was once that like I just could not squeeze it out for the fucking life of me. It was a scene like. I was on the toilet and it was kind of like just like my breaking point, you know what I mean? I like everything was crashing down, you know, and like I just like started crying, but I could not for the life of me. But then they had the other person in my scene like start doing her lines and like it just like so that helped too, a human being interaction, you know, and like yeah, it's all very interesting.
Okay, well, I think you're just good at it.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just so happy
no,
to
this
be
is
there.
amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, I'm so happy to be here. How do I cry?
Right.
But yeah, that's remarkable. That's crazy.
What is life? Good trouble, people. January 8th.
Trouble.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll release the pre-Good Trouble version and the post.
Cut it up and make it pretty.
Amazing. So then, and then also you did like I Love Dick.
Right.
And that was like one of. Like that was like what was it like working with like Jill Soloway and the legend?
Jill is brilliant. You know, I remember we were in Marfa, which was cool. I was like, what is life? I'm in Texas shooting TV. Like, I'm not kidding. Every single moment of my life, I'm just like so happy to be there. But she was directing me in this like coffee shop scene. It actually, I don't even think it made the cut, but like it was so fun. She was so like almost like unorthodox and like just like and so loose in a sense where like I ended up like ripping the guy's shirt open like just cuz it felt right. You know what I mean? It didn't make the cut, but like it just like she gives you this like, you know, something comes over you, but she's honestly so cool. And like that set was, I mean, that was probably like the real first TV show I ever worked on. And like there's this thing she does called box. So before we shoot every single day, there's like a box and we like stand around it and like if you want to, you go up and you express something you're going through, good news maybe, or just like a quick speech about what happened today. Like cool. It's a beautiful thing, wow. And it's like
that seems so like like theater or just not at all
sure
TV like, only because everybody's on like their schedule.
Exactly. It's not like instead of that rush, she's very like just okay, let's take this time to really appreciate each other, and like I remember the day like after the election was like really we were just all like really bummed. You know what I mean? Because it's like and like there was some sharing on the box, and it's just like I mean the world is happening around us, like we're just taking 5 to touch base.
Keep in touch.
Right. So circle back and follow up. But that was a cool part of it. And cool. I was like on one episode of Transparent, like not even like it was like 2 seconds.
I saw that. No, that was
but
great.
Like same thing there. So on all her shows she does that. Cool. But yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I Love Dick was really dope. And like freaking working with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And Catherine Hahn. Catherine Hahn is hysterical. Like I feel like she's so funny. And like I was talking to her. I'm like, I'm sitting next to Catherine Hahn right now talking about how much I loved We're the Millers, because I thought just that was the funniest movie. And like how in that movie she was like saying tampon. And like it was just funny. I was like, wow, I'm just like having this conversation about it's really nuts. Yeah, it was so funny. It's a really good one.
I gotta watch it.
Jennifer Aniston.
Right. That's what that one. Yeah, they're like a couple funny
they're
family movies that came out around that time.
So good. Anyway, yeah.
Wow.
Good times.
Oh, they're pretending. Right. They're like criminals or something.
Yes. I think they are laundering of some sort or something.
Yeah. Good
moving
premise.
Drugs, maybe.
Pushing drugs.
Right. Fake family, drugs.
Got it. Wow. Yeah. All great things. That's crazy. And actually, okay, sorry, I'm going to adjust this as well. But I feel like, too, like the happy to be here thing, do you ever feel like there's and again, like, it could be something that doesn't necessarily happen for a while, too, I guess, but like, because I feel like whenever I think of the happy to be here, because I'm always happy to be here on whatever thing, project or whatever, but oftentimes I don't want that to translate to like, because I don't deserve to be here, because I like should be treated like the lower half because I'm just happy to be here. So then, I mean, there's the whole thing too about like unpaid internships or things where people are taking on things that are below them because they're kind of like, well, you should be grateful because this is an opportunity. But do you ever have that, like, I know it's a little different, I guess, with like projects you're actually excited to be on, which is fine. And all the ones that you talked about, like, that is the truth. But like, I wonder if you've ever been in a position where like you're like, oh, maybe this is a time where like I'm too good for you know, or like I shouldn't be treated this way even though I am happy to be here. Like, it doesn't, there's like
that's interesting.
Ways. Well, I mean, we were talking earlier about the thing, which is great, when you said no to the thing that you would have had to move to New York and host this app that like was a big gamble and they weren't paying you that much. So like to say no, like, that's good. You are in a position to say no and like you can do other things.
And it just like didn't
that's good.
Make sense. Okay. You know what I mean? Like for that moment.
So I think that's like a good balance of like, luckily you weren't just like, oh, well, I'm happy to have anything and like I'm going to pick up and go.
Right. And also if it was in LA, we probably would have done it because it's like, you know, to move all the way there and only
that's like a huge overhead.
But that's probably the only time that, I mean, because most of the time it's like I guess like the happy to be here thing like means just like grateful, you know, kind of just like in disbelief that I get to do this stuff, you know what I mean? But there's not really, I mean, it's interesting, but I don't know if there's ever a time where I felt like I was too good for something because I mean that sounds, and I don't really make that sound like it's like you have an ego. I literally just mean like, you know, you could still be happy to be somewhere, but then the worry of like that translating to, and therefore I'll do it for free, or like I'll do you know, all the things that like also like, oh, but you know, please do pay me. right. Which obviously in acting roles that's not the case because guild everything. Like, sure. The legalities.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess, you know, because it's such a thin line, I think, in entertainment where it's like everyone just like, we're just, you know, happy to be in LA and like to be here doing the thing that a lot of people want to do, and then worrying about that translating to like, therefore, you know, I'm just gonna do this thing because it's a job and not because it's something you're actually into.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I guess I'm still in that chapter, era, space, stage, phase that
all great.
There's Family Feud.
Yeah.
That I'm very like I am not. Okay, I guess I can't explain it other than I'm happy to be here because I even think about stand up, about how like we do hella shows and we don't get paid for it. Like we're just happy to do the 7 minutes. Just, like, you know what I mean?
That's chill because stage time.
Right. So it's almost, you know, kind of parallel to that where it's like, obviously it's different. It's like if you're filming a TV show for like 12 hours and like obviously you want to get paid for that, right? Whatever. But like if you're doing 7 minutes, like a lot of people think, you know, stand up when we're, you know, at doing a show that seems cool is like way more glamorous than it actually is. You know, they probably think we get paid a lot for it, but we actually know we're doing this literally for free. But it's fine. You know what I mean? Like we're happy to do it. You know what I mean?
Like that's what you're there for.
The
like,
exposure, you know. Same with like, you know, I recently booked this like indie film, and it's not like I'm gonna be rolling in dough. It's not like I'm gonna be rolling in dough.
Rolling in the dough.
Rolling in the dough. You know what? I like to put the money on my booby. Hello, what? The ching, the cha-ching?
It never gets old.
The dollar bill.
I literally can't do an accent.
I can only do Vietnamese. Okay, I'm not even kidding.
That's
only.
It's great though. It's
exclusively.
It's unique. I think people don't
often
do the Vietnamese accent,
well,
and it is
yeah.
So that's a great unique skill. But also, I've gone into auditions where they want me to do Chinese accent, and I can't do it. So it's like,
I cannot do Chinese for the life of me.
And so it's like hilarious because I'm like, I look at the other person like, what do you think I'm doing right now? Like I'm pretending like I know what I'm doing, but we both know.
Right.
I'm not making any actual accent at all. Like maybe it's a baby accent.
Weird.
Like
right.
It's literally I don't know what it is.
Like it's for some reason I grew up with my parents who are Chinese who had broken English, but like, why is it so hard?
So even then, you can't. Like, I've heard people can't imitate their parents because it doesn't sound like that to them too. It just sounds regular.
Sure.
And like for me, like I just don't have anybody to mimic. And like if I'm mimicking someone I don't know, it's like, okay, this is like pretty racist, right?
Right.
Like even though
essentially the Vietnamese one is a little.
Right, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't
it's
think
all very interesting.
Do you get any backlash for it?
No, people love her.
Yeah, I feel like
a little tasty a little bit,
like
to be honest, but
okay,
you know.
But they're also characters, which I think makes it very different, right?
Yeah.
Versus if you're like a blanket, I'm Vietnamese accent person, but you have a character. So you're like, look, is this an individual? Take it up with that individual.
Right.
Or chill.
Just don't at me, dude.
But yeah,
don't at me.
Yeah. Oops.
Wait, what were we just talking about? The Vietnamese before we got into the dollar bill. Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I booked
independent movie.
Right. So it's like, you know, I'm not exactly rolling in dough, but like it's such a good opportunity, you know, the people I'm opposite, like it's dope, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm just so happy to be there. Like essentially. You know what I mean?
Great.
It's just nice to be nominated. Oh my god. Fucking A, what Sandra Oh said at the Emmys when like they like pan to her. So basically they were talking about who hosted. I can't even remember who hosted. Just recently.
It was the two guys.
Nick and no, it wasn't
Colin Jost and Michael
Old Saint Nick. It wasn't right. Colin Jost and Michael Che. Okay.
Michael Che, yeah.
So they said something about like Asians or whatever.
Asians.
And then how Sandra Oh was
host
nominated. Well, because obviously like Sandra Oh got nominated.
Yeah, first
for the
time
lead
American,
drama
Asian
actress.
Canadian,
I think.
yeah.
Right. But the point is like they said something and they cut to her, and then she was in the audience and she was like, you know what? It's just an honor to be Asian.
Was that part of the script?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so funny.
It's just an honor to be Asian.
You know what I mean?
That is funny.
It's so funny.
Because it's like, I'm just
so
happy
funny.
to be here, but I'm just happy to be Asian.
Right.
It's like that was the hurdle.
Oh.
That's funny. I literally didn't. What did I not watch it? I just didn't even watch it because
right.
I don't know how to watch this. I don't have television.
Oh yeah, I don't. I always no. I'm all about
clips.
like TV, YouTube, Twitter highlights.
Some clips, but I missed that clip.
Right,
so
but
it's all over.
She is incredible, and she's kind of goals. You know what I mean? Because it's like
well, freaking. Just that whole show was crazy.
Right,
and
Grey's Anatomy.
Things that she had to do,
I mean,
and then the new one,
Killing Eve.
Crazy.
It's crazy because I didn't realize Grey's Anatomy. She was like, obviously it was a drama, but like she had these like comedic moments. And I literally recently watched Princess Diaries, and I forgot she was in it. Dude, she was the principal and was hilarious.
Oh my god, she was great, and everybody loved her because she was kind of like helping her out, and she also like knew Mandy Moore was an asshole. She was just
exactly. So like I'm
oh
just
my god,
like, wow.
I forgot she was the principal. In
She's a comedic genius, and we like literally. It's so interesting, and it's like now we just realize she can do both, and like what a range. And that's goals.
Cool. Goals. Hashtag goals.
Yeah, for sure.
Just happen to be Asian.
It's so funny.
It's an honor.
It's just an honor to be Asian. Because you would think she would say it's an honor to be nominated.
Right.
Oh! Sandra baby.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Wait, was that like off the cuff then? Or no,
I think it was
a part of the thing. Okay,
yeah.
no, I mean, still funny.
Yeah,
you still have to say it funny. Oh, yeah, please.
I'll link you.
Please link in the comments.
She killed the delivery.
Link in bio. Okay, there's a couple of things I have to ask too. Okay. So,
yes, they're real.
It's important.
Uh-huh.
All right, great. And that's it. I stop the podcast. That's all I need to know. So, have you had like a low point in recent kind of in your adult life?
100%.
That you would want to talk about and how you were able to work through it.
Well, I don't know if this is sad, but it was career it was career related.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know what category you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean anything.
Sure. It was career related, and I'm not gonna, say exact things, but basically in like February, I was gonna shoot the second season of a show that I was on.
Mm-hmm. I think you kind of mentioned this to me before.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to drop any.
No, that's fine, and I think it was refreshing because these types of things, it's like, sometimes we don't talk about it. So that's kind of what this section is for. Anyway, continue.
Right. I mean, well, it was a lesson learned in that, like, nothing hurtful lasts forever. You know what I mean? Because like for basically, I was supposed to do. I was on first season of a show, not scripted, just like this show, and that which is a show I love and will still support and like think is really funny, and I still double tap and all that good stuff because it's incredible. Because you know what,
double tap.
I can't take it personally. That's at the end of the day, but the effect was pretty, dark. So basically, I was on the first season. Then they asked me back for the second season, and we were rehearsing. We were doing the whole thing. We signed the contracts. Like, we were literally about to shoot in, like, a couple days. And then all of a sudden, like, they let me go and said they wanted to go a different direction, etc. And, it literally was, like, the most painful thing ever.
Sure, because it's like, you have it.
Right.
Too.
And you just never even think, losing it would be an option if we already, like, signed this. And, of course, we're also learning. But, like, my point is, it's like I literally was, like, sobbing for, like, a week. You know what I mean? Because I'm, like, thinking about, I was looking forward to it. Really, at the end of the day, it's something you were looking forward to. It's not even, like, money. It's not even, like, the celebrities that I could have met or whatever. But, like, it's something you were literally about to do, and you were looking forward to it. And you had all this built up anticipation, and suddenly they don't want you anymore. Yeah, like, sure. I'm not going to Disneyland. Exactly. It's like, so then it was like, just career wise, and nothing had really been super spicy career wise up until then. It's like, I think, I went out for a pilot season and, nothing really, no fish were really caught. So it was just like kind of like this dark time where I'm like, I didn't really have much going on, and that happened. And it was like, damn, like, it was such a bummer, but then next thing you know, like a month later, something good happened, and then something even better happened. And it's like, I truly do believe in those ups and downs, like in life, in your career, in general, balance, like I would get a yin yang tattoo, like if I, wanted to be on brand, but like, I truly believe, there's ups and downs. Even right now, I feel great, but I know, okay, you know what? There might be, in a year where maybe not much is going on. That's just reality. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like, you have this momentum, but, sometimes there'll be a little dead air, and just always bringing it back to radio. And, it just was like, damn, I even think about how depressed I was that week, really. I mean, not to use that term loosely, but, like, I was really, really fucking, like, in a dark space, like, just questioning, like, why didn't they want me? It's kind of like a breakup, you know what I mean? It's like, and then you meet someone new, and you know what I mean? And things are amazing, and you're like, wait, I was going through that? Sure. What?
It's so strange how quickly you can, like, change mindsets, and then knowing the other mindset, but not really, like, knowing the other mindset,
Sure.
Whether that means you're going from happy to sad or sad to happy. But, like, because sometimes I feel like, the most important thing is, like, the yin and yang, but, like, the idea that that's gonna end soon. There was, like, a Sheryl Sandberg had her, like,
sure.
What's it called, like, a commencement speech at a college. I think it was the UC Berkeley one, like, a couple years ago, and it was, like, right after her husband died, and it was kind of about the fact that, like, she learned something, and it was, like, the 5 P's, and I don't remember what they were, but one was the fact that it was, like, temporary, and I don't know what the P word was. Perpetual, but, like, not perpetual.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
and just that, like, even when you're in it, you're like, wow, it feels like I've always been like this before this moment, and will always be like this, but then that's obviously not the case.
Yeah.
But that's cool, because you do kind of have to go through the transition to know that it's possible still.
Yeah.
So, like, do you have, I mean, is that kind of like your reference point? If you're going through anything, then you're like, oh, well, I remember this time when that felt like the only thing, and then it's like.
Right. Well, that is the very first time that specific thing happened where, like, because we, once again, get rejected all the time, but this one was, like, set in stone in a sense, and like, I thought for sure.
And you had the experience of the previous season to know, like, what that was. It's not like you didn't know what you were missing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And, it also wasn't like I was this new gamble. Like, I'd been there before. You know what I mean? It was just all these, like, wait, what? Yeah, why? Yeah. It was just weird. But you know what? Once again,
unique situation.
Literally, I'm never the type to hold a grudge or have bad blood. Cool. It was just a bummer personally for my emotional sake. But of course, like, I still kept the relations, and, like, everything's great. It's like things happen in showbiz, and that's something we just need to get used to, Like, But yeah, it was essentially like being engaged and then like getting cheated on. You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
like,
yeah, right.
Like, because
like,
you thought for sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine and we move past it. But yeah, it's like, we look at our 20-something years of life, how many rock bottoms we thought, like, I will never come up from this, a breakup or like a death, it's like, it's just, even, I mean, to speak on, a non-career low point, like my grandma passed about 2 years ago, and like, it was one of those things, thank you, it's fine, but like, it was one of those things where like, I did have a lot of regrets, because that was that point in my life where I was going out a lot, I was working, and I was like out, like, bye, like, she was literally sick, like, in her room, and like, I couldn't just say hi, like, real quick before leaving, you know what I mean? And like that part kills me, and like, okay, like,
but she was living in you guys.
Yeah, we lived in the same fucking house. Cool, and it's like that regret, like, it's just like I could have taken like 3 minutes of my day to just like sit with Grams, and then suddenly it was like a sudden pass away, and but it's like she had cancer, and like there was a period of time where I wasn't working, and like right after I graduated college, where I did take her to the doctor every day, and like I was present and I was helping and stuff. But then gradually I just like stopped because she stopped going to the doctor, and like she was at home, and then I just like did not make the effort, and it's like and that's a thing that obviously we always realize you don't know what you have till it's gone, and you need to cherish every day like it's your last, and that really is the truth because I was just so self-involved, you know what I mean, that I'm not even realizing that my sick grandma probably wants to see me and, like, hates the sound of me slamming the door. Like, it literally cuts like a knife. And it's like, we learn from that. We hope that, the people who have passed, like, realize and we're aware of the fact that we love them, et cetera. So, a lot of low points, and it really is life. It really is, totally. But ups and downs, dude. Ups and downs.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, no, I mean, and are you like, do you think that's something that's like gotten easier? Because I feel like that's something too, it's like a personal, you're hard on yourself. Like, you're saying like, oh, well, I should have stayed. But, you did a lot and you're also living there. Like, I feel like I don't see my grandma at all because she's actually close now, but before, like, I was in Boston, she was here and things like that. And so there's also like that thing, you were living with her, so that's great, you guys got a lot of hangout time, but also I mean, it's something too, like forgiving yourself and things like that, like that's something I've learned too, is just like, oh yeah, I was so like, it's so easy to be hard on yourself because you're like, oh yeah, I mean, the harder then the better I get, easy graph, but like, yeah, it's not always that, kids, and also it can be bad.
Math.
Exactly.
On brand.
If we want to put this down on paper,
it
would be, a nice graph. But yeah, like, I don't know if it's something that it seems like you're very fine and healthy on, like, knowing managing expectations and stuff. Oh no.
Yeah, like yeah. I mean, you just have to kind of obviously, go through it. Fucking go through it. Don't bottle. You know what I mean? Don't bottle it up. Just go through it. You have to go through it. You have to feel it. You have to hurt if needed. You have to cry if necessary. And like, but then, you realize, okay, well, that, you take things from that experience. You know what I mean? You fix what needs to be fixed within yourself to, like, prevent feeling that way again, if you will. Or maybe you just accept that shit happens and you will feel that way again. But, it's just a matter of how you deal with things. I don't know. It's all those life lessons. But, yeah, ups and downs.
Sick. Yeah. Do you have any, besides seafood ASMR.
Right.
Do you have any things that, like, go-tos for cheer-ups? But also, here's another random question. Sorry, that I just thought of.
Question?
Random question.
Oh.
The Rams.
Yeah, Temple City Rams.
Yeah. That's great. But yeah, I wonder if there's is it hard to act and then you have to be like sad sometimes? Right. Obviously, we talked about crying.
Right.
That like brings you into a place where you're like, oh fuck, I worked so hard to get out of this place, or is it not the same at all?
No, it's definitely easy to get out of the tears. I mean, yeah, because like even so stupid. One of my castmates and I, whenever we do like a serious scene, we'll just like high five right after, and then I don't know, it's like really funny, but like it's really acting. Like it's weird, you know. Like we'll do it.
That doesn't.
We'll be so serious.
Get you
and cry and really get there, and we're like, good shit.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
And then you can kind of move on.
Right. Yeah.
That's good to know. I just always think about like, Heath Ledger got too deep into the Joker.
Oh no,
I
mean,
Sherry.
Hey, maybe I'll get to that point in my life where they can do a female reboot of the Joker, and I can be chosen. And then I'll be really, really method is what they call it.
Right.
Yeah.
Method. But yeah, and then I guess back to any cheer ups besides, the classic.
I think
ASMR.
Right. I think food though, along the lines of food, because it's so weird, like there's a lot of things I don't do as much anymore. I used to drink a lot, like party, obviously in my early 20s, mid 20s. But now I just like feel like, I just feel like maybe like once in a while, sure, but like I truly like, because when I drink, sometimes I get like a little out of control. There's been times where I've been by myself, like on Sunset Boulevard, sitting on the curb, just throwing up on my own thighs, and like.
Well, at least you're keeping it contained. You're not dirtying the sidewalk.
Sure.
That's really.
You know what I mean?
Tax dollars.
And like I remember my phone dropped into my puke, and like the stranger had to call me an Uber. Like I'm not kidding. And I wake up in the morning, can't find my purse. What's happening? My pants are in the trash can. Like clearly I'd made that solid decision.
Yeah.
And then
nice.
Can't find my purse. I'm like, oh my god, my car keys, my wallet, whatever. I call my mom. Can you please bring me the spare key? She drives all the way from Temple City to West Hollywood. I then find my purse next to the microwave, and like. Those kind of like decisions led to from alcohol. Like I'm just like, why do we do it again? You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like,
do you still drink or in moderation?
Yeah, I mean, really, like I probably drank like 3 times this year.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's reduced. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of friends now who are in that same boat,
and also like. I've also been doing intermittent fasting. So, like, I don't consume calories past 8. So that's a big factor as well. Like, I've day drank
I've heard that's a great way to eat and live.
Dude, I've lost, like, 20 pounds since July.
So did you start at 12 and eat it? Or what?
Yeah, 12 at 8. 12 to 8. Yeah. Okay, that's my jam.
Yeah.
So
funny. Because I literally just talked to some people about that. So I was like, I can do it. But I don't know. It's hard.
Doable.
I got to adjust gradually, I think.
I'm actually one of those people who, like... I don't think it's like I love food, and obviously I've never been a small girl, but like I don't need to eat, and like I don't get hangry. You know what I mean? So like sometimes I'll have a call time at 6 a.m. and I'll wait till noon.
Whoa!
Yeah, so it's like
that would really, because I feel like the less sleep I get, the more I need to eat to like displace it.
No, dude. Like I'm somehow like it is what it is. I'll eat at 12. In my head, I'm like, I'll eat at 12. Sometimes I'll be really hungry and like feel like I want to slam a pizza at 3 a.m. But I'm like, no, I'll eat at 12.
Oh,
like,
wow, good.
I'll wake up tomorrow, I'll eat at 12.
Good self-discipline.
And then when I do eat, it's like, fuck yeah, I'll eat like 1,500 wings.
Sure.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have like...
Yeah, make the most of it.
Something that I'm currently doing because like I told you about how I'm watching the seafood ASMR only because I can't eat the seafood because my cholesterol's high. So
it fills that void.
Recently, the reason why I even started doing this is because I went to the doctor in July, and then he said my cholesterol's high, and obviously I was like, overweight or whatever. I mean, I'm adorable, but like it's fine. So I'm like, hey, let me get my shit together.
Cool. For health and future.
Yeah, and prosperity. Also I want to like the way my chin is chiseled on TV. Once again, no pressure from anyone but myself.
Got it.
So I cut out red meat.
Wow. Which seafood. Is like overall all these things healthy decisions too.
Right, exactly.
For like whatever thing, sickness,
right,
or
and also carbs.
Immune system.
I haven't had noodle, rice, bread, and potato.
See, that's that hard stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've been like, I make my own rules. So like the other day I had rice paper, which technically, right, but it's like whatever. It was like 2 spring rolls.
Yeah, it's like
or like there was tortilla chips in my soup. Like whatever. Okay,
right.
I make my own rules.
What are you gonna do? Fish them out?
Right, exactly. So so that on top of intermittent, like I've lost like over 20 pounds since July.
That's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, if you're doing both of those things, I feel like that's great. But also just like sometimes you hear certain diet fads and you're like, honestly, what's probably really good about that? A lot of people talk about like the Whole30 thing, which is like,
wait, what is that?
So Whole30, I think it's like 30 days you cut out like carbs, sugar, alcohol, and certain maybe other
You can eat grains. I don't know.
Sure.
Not sure. But I guess the whole thing, I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, honestly, just cutting out like alcohol and sugar alone would be great. Like, I think, so a lot of these things, it just feels like, more extreme versions. But if you could do anything.
Yeah, I definitely think I might plateau soon, though. So maybe I'll do something new. Maybe I'll cut out breathing.
Yeah, definitely air.
Right.
Air's on that list.
All those calories.
You gotta go.
Empty calories.
But
no,
yeah,
but
empty
food. Food is definitely a celebratory device.
Yeah. Do you like to go out to eat or do you like to cook?
That's all I do is go out to eat, to be honest. It's really bad, but it's funny
There's
because
so much good food in LA. It's like so hard.
My parents own a restaurant. They've been in like food my whole life, so like I don't know if that played into me not cooking. Like, is it because like I never had to cook?
Like a job.
You know what I mean? Or it's either maybe I never had to cook, or like no, but I'm not opposed to it. Like, I've always like dreamt of having like a little Mexican restaurant, like Diablo. You know Diablo, like how they have like the cutesy tacos and like
tapas,
the pop,
something
like that.
I've never been there,
down the street. Anyway,
I see that sign.
But like
Diablo.
I've always wanted to, own something cutesy, but I just never like actually did it. But yeah, I definitely eat out a lot.
Yeah, I think, no, I mean,
food is what I spend
such a joy.
my money on the most.
Me too. I think
I don't like fancy things. I've literally had this fucking sweater since like 2009. You know what I mean?
All from people, the hand-me-downs.
I don't buy anything but food.
Yeah, I thought about recently because I was going through my closet and I realized I didn't have anything that like wasn't wrinkled or stained. So I was like, okay, maybe I should spend a little bit of money on clothes someday. But until that day, all food. Yeah. Because I think also like whatever they're like millennials spend money on experiences, but like food is experiences and it's delicious.
Well, I went to the Museum of Ice Cream. I'm on the cusp, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's a big deal.
They love that shit.
I heard the sprinkles in the Museum of Ice Cream were kind of gross.
I actually low-key took some. I like.
Oh yeah, did they
stole
okay?
some.
They smell all right.
Yeah. Well, they look like they were like it was like a sheet.
They're just plastic.
And then they like
Oh,
you
so
know
it looked like there were like little ends to it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Little
That
wieners.
makes me a little bit,
I don't know. I have no feeling, but it's.
I didn't even go.
I mean, it's essentially equally as gross as like a ball pit at McDonald's. Like,
right. So I'm wondering, like.
Ugh, God, gross.
Yeah, I mean, I used to. Yeah.
Wait, what did we puke about earlier? The peanut on the microphone.
Oh God, that's even worse than a ball pit. Oh,
I'm gonna
throw up.
We're gonna go throw up now.
Here? Yeah.
How did we make love a good callback.
Yeah,
you know
good. Beginning, just like another callback to throw up again.
Oh my God.
But okay, yeah. So, food, all those great things. Do you have a favorite place that you go eat around town?
I actually, to keep it basic and franchisey and easy for people to find, I go to Sweet Green a lot, actually. Oh. In Zanku. That? So Sweet Green is a build-your-own salad place. They also have like set salads. They also have like wild rice and quinoa and stuff. It's not just salad.
I think I mix it with tender greens.
Right,
tender
that's also
greens
good too.
Meat.
Yeah,
I thought for sure tender greens. Does Sweet Green have meat?
Yeah, they have meat.
This is so confusing.
It's all I know.
It says green in the title. I mean, it's fine because I want meat, but I also feel like when I go, I'm like, oh, right. I should have known I could get a chicken sandwich.
You know, it's so funny because tender greens, you think they have greens, right? But then like, okay, meat is like brown, right? Like, can you imagine a place called Tender Browns?
I don't think they considered it.
Like,
they're like, we got meat, so Tender
really
Browns.
dug deep on that one.
Yeah, wow. That's, I mean, I never had that
from the creators of
ever.
Tender Greens.
Tender Browns.
No, but I really like Noodle World.
Oh, I fucking love Noodle World. That's actually my favorite.
Well,
place,
because 626, dude. We know that from fucking.
Yeah.
There was one on Huntington, like.
Oh yeah. I mean, Old Town.
Old Town.
Oh yeah, the one on Huntington is close to where my parents work, so I would always like go there.
The Alhambra OG like location was like what I grew up on. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I like that it has literally every cuisine.
Right.
Like it's not just dabbling in one kind of noodle.
Exactly.
You've got every noodle.
Oh my God, that sounds so good. I'm
like
famished right now.
Oh my God. I forgot about Noodle World for a second.
So good. Well, there's there's a Noodle World Junior on Sunset across the Palladium. So they don't have everything.
Oh,
but
okay.
They have
wait, is it actually called Noodle World Junior?
Yeah. There's one in Westwood. Yeah, it's only for infants. Only infants can
Small
order.
Portions.
Right.
They gotta sign a waiver and have a set tutor.
SAG gets involved. Right. It's this whole thing.
Did you guys have children on set for Good Trouble at all?
Actually, there was this. I don't know. I think she was 11, but she was really cute. She was an Asian girl. You know something I will say about Good Trouble? I am blown the fuck away. I swear we have had more Asian actors than like some networks combine a whole season. I'm not kidding.
Because it was like, is it because are they all supposed to be like?
No, there's some not even in my world.
Okay,
Isn't that nuts?
Oh, okay, great.
Like, okay, once again, I don't know when this is gonna air, but like we have. Okay, yeah, don't air this if it's before the premiere day.
Yeah.
But it's me, Sherry Cola, Kara Wang, isn't it? She's in the new Top Gun. Kara Wang.
Okay, look it up.
Ken Kirby.
Oh,
I don't know if you know him.
yeah.
Ken Kirby. Dhruv Singh.
Oh, yeah.
You know, South.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
Asian. Yeah, he booked. He's amazing.
Too. Okay, yeah.
And Diane Doan, who's like on this new Bruce Lee joint called Warrior, and like she's killing it. Obviously, my parents. One of the writers is Lauren Moon, and like she just is incredible. And John M. Chu directed the first episode. It was just like it's like Asians all over. I feel like I'm missing a couple, but the point is, in a couple episodes, is this 11-year-old girl. Her name's like Riley Go, I think, but she was like really cool. But that was the only kid we really had.
Okay, yeah. I'm always fascinated with these. Well, one time I was like helping a friend shoot her short, and they had a kid, and I thought the kid was playing a 5-year-old in the script, so I thought she was like 5.
Right.
And then I was like talking to her like she was 5, and then I found out she's 9, and I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Like you probably, because like 9's pretty like you're coherent, like you're reading books.
Well, what were you saying, like goo goo gaga or what?
I don't know. I felt like I was like,
many?
oh, good job. I don't know.
So
I
funny.
was being like kind of shitty.
Well, what?
But I just didn't
grade
know.
was 9?
I think it was 4th grade. I think.
Oh yeah, I was
it's pretty old.
I was like, I had like hormones and shit.
Yeah,
I was
doing stuff. Yeah.
No, I wasn't doing.
No, yeah. Not that's a little young for that.
That was
but like
age.
you're like
cool people were doing stuff.
cooperating.
I remember these like two popular this
really?
couple that was like everyone knew like
yikes.
Like they were literally like, oh, David and Valerie are gonna make out after school.
Oh,
and like people would go like not watch, but I guess watch.
Go watch. Yeah, they'd
it would
go
be like this event.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that talk too. I wonder how much actually happened. 0%.
It's
probably.
so weird.
But
people are like getting like people are like third base.
Temple City, God.
No, this was Alhambra, dude.
Oh, Alhambra.
Yeah, I started in Alhambra when we touched down in America.
Alhambra High School?
No.
Oh, wait, no, I guess, child, sorry.
Yeah, elementary, man. Like, people were making out and shit. I actually dropped their real names.
Just kidding. That's okay. My mom went to Alhambra High School.
Oh.
Yeah, she was an Alhambra child.
Nice. We're 626 for life, dude. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Just like.
For a while. Except I was technically 818.
Oh. Yeah. Do you remember when they did the split?
Yeah.
Because 818 used to be.
818.
It used to be all 818.
Yeah. And then now it's like you have to dial area codes and stuff. It's crazy.
No, literally, Alhambra at Temple City, everything used to be 818.
Oh, okay.
In like,
I
think I was in 6th grade. So like 2000. I mean, no, like 1999. Literally, half of 818 turned into 626. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Okay, you have to like look it up because I remember that time. It was never.
So what did you feel? Identity crisis?
Yeah. That's when I knew. I was like, whoa, I might be playing for both teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, only then can you know.
Right.
When you really question everything. Then you start to question everything.
From area code.
Mm-hmm. You're like, who am I?
You know?
Then you start to really look
Exactly.
into it. Well,
exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. So, Asians, killing it, doing that stuff.
Yes.
Doing multiple things.
Wrap up.
Children.
Multitasking.
You like multitasking?
Living life. I'm actually okay at multitasking, to be honest with you, because I mean, I'm very hard at like texting while someone's talking to me.
Yeah, you just start texting
like,
what they're saying.
What do you think? I'm a fucking robot genius? Like, I can't do this. Stop talking. I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah. You're like, you need to shut up. I'm doing phone things right now. Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. No, that's like the only thing. But besides that, I can definitely juggle while pooping.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
Because there's really a
gap.
Way to get it moving.
Gap in the market for juggle poopers. Yeah, and I'm tapping in before it hits the mainstream. So you heard it first.
All right. You heard it first here on Stay Podsitive.
Stay Podsitive.
But yay. Okay, well, thank you for anything else you want to plug and or talk about. I want to try to, because we got so many good things in here.
Yeah.
I want to try to do after January So if you want to act like after January 8th.
I mean, watch Good Trouble.
Watch
It's
Good
on
Trouble.
Freeform. It's dope. It's a movement. We talk about a lot of really important social issues, and we also tap into, diversity, different cultures. It's funny, it's sexy, it's edgy, it's upbeat. It's literally everything you want in a show. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. So you tell me. Yeah.
That's big.
Sherry Cola out here in these streets.
All right. And where can people find you?
The people can find me on the Instagram, Sherry Cola. It's actually SHRRYCOLA. The one with the E is like this mom from like Arkansas or something.
No.
So like,
we gotta take her down.
I know. She hasn't been active.
What is what is
So,
she thinking she is?
Apparently.
Her name is Sherry, and she's like, oh, I get it.
No, I think like her, I don't know, her fucking full name is like Sharinia Colada or something.
She's like, I couldn't fit it all in.
No, okay, so she is, no, I think her name is like Sherry, like Colanda. It's like something short.
Weird.
Can
she just do that instead?
Right, so we're thinking about hitting her up. I think we have to hit up Instagram first. And be like, if an account is not active for a certain amount of time, you can technically steal it. That's what they say.
Yeah, I mean, that should be the
Yeah,
case.
we'll be in touch. I'm not making any,
Sharinda Kalanda.
Sharinda Kalanda.
You heard it here.
Kalanji.
We're coming for you.
She's my arch nemesis. No, but yeah, you guys, Sherry Cola, just Google it and find me on stuff and DM me pictures of Pusheen.
Do you like Gudetama as well, or just
Yeah.
Pusheen?
Yeah.
I'm pro both. But
both.
I like
Both teams.
both teams.
Both
All
teams.
right. Thank you.
All right. Love you, Sierra. Thanks for having me.
Love you too.